In this video, we will talking about how to configure USB whitelist or blacklist. Introduction to blacklist and whitelist. What is blacklist and whitelist? Whitelist. Some devices such as USB requires installation of driver under the Windows desktop in order to work normally. Thus, users are required to map it to the desktop and then install the driver. Because the device does not mapping by default, it needs to be added to the whitelist to force the mapping. Blacklist. Some USB ports are connected to headsets or other devices. If these devices are mapped to the desktop, it will affect the user experience. Because this type of device is mapped to the desktop by default. Thus, blacklist the device to exclude the mapping. Before we begin, we need to know what is VID and PID. All the USB devices have specific vendor ID and product ID, which are different from each other. You can find it under the device manager. Step of configure USB whitelist and blacklist. First, find the device VID and PID, connect the peripheral to the Windows physical host, and then view the properties of the peripheral from the device manager. Search device manager. After that, click on Universal Serial Bus Controllers. Select the peripheral. If you are unable to confirm the device, you can plug it in and out several times to see which device has changes. Right-click, select Properties. Click Details. Search the Hardware LDS property. As you can see the VID and PID of peripheral. Write down the VID and PID. Second, create a new group policy. Go to VDI option, Policy Sets, add new policy. Next, I will talk about how to create a new group policy. Click on VDI option. Click on Policy Set. Add a new policy set. Enter the name. Select area. You can create the area under the System Administrators areas. Select Virtual Desktop options. Select USB device access. Check USB storage device. Select Read and Write. Click USB device whitelist and blacklist. Click New under Mapping. Enter USB VID and PID you recorded before. Select Allow on Mapping Permission. Device such as headphones with USB ports, if mapped to the desktop, it will affect the quality. Because this type of device will map to the exclusive desktop by default. In this situation, you can select Deny, add it to the blacklist and exclude the mapping. Note: Allow is whitelist, denies blacklist. Enter description. If you forgot where to find the VID and PID, you can click the link where is VID and PID. After that, click OK. Click Save. Remember to click Apply button after saved. The Create New Policy set had been done. Third, make sure that you have already created AVM, associated users and resources. Fourth, apply group policy set to a group or user. Go to VDI option, Users, select End User or Group. After done, create new policy set, apply the policy to a group or user. Click Users. You can click View and edit attributes to apply policy to group. In this scenario, I will apply policy to an user. Select User. Click on Policy Set. Select the policy sets you created before. After that, click OK. Click Save. Remember to click Apply after saved. You had done configure USB whitelist and blacklist. In the end of this tutorial, precaution of whitelist and blacklist will be listed below. First, after done configuration blacklist and whitelist, user will need to re-login in order to let the blacklist and whitelist take effect. Second, make sure the agent status is normal. Abnormal agent status will cause the blacklist and whitelist not working. Third, make sure that you have already created a VM, associated users and resources.